This is a Spinosaurus, and I'm going to be going through its history and why it's my favourite dinosaur. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm a YouTuber who loves dinosaurs, like a lot. And as the title suggests, I'm going to be covering my personal favourite, the Spinosaurus. I think this dinosaur, it meant a lot to me because one of my favourite Jurassic Park movies is the third, which I know is obviously like a very, very hot take because I know no one who likes this damn movie. I know people who despise it, but I don't know anyone who actually likes it. You see, at the time, the T-Rex, it was the biggest to just about like most kids, and then in this movie, you just see the Spinosaurus come over and kill it, and like rival it. It puts up like quite a bit of a fight, I think, in my opinion at least. But the Spinosaurus being able to kill a T-Rex, that was just amazing, right? It most likely is untrue that it probably couldn't kill the T-Rex, due to the size difference between them and weight and everything, and the fact that Spinosaurus is a piscivore and T-Rex isn't. So yeah. Anyway, the ring from the stomach, it gives me chills every time I rewatch this movie, and the way it stares at them from the tree line, it's just fascinating. It's like a predator hunting its prey. And there's the scene when they all get on the boat, and you start thinking, oh, they're safe, they're going to make it off the island. And then you see the sail start rising from the water, and you know, they're done for. But what can they possibly do to hide from this thing? And it was just absolute cinema, I can't lie. It's history time now, okay? So the first Spinosaurus skeleton we ever discovered was back in 1912, over 100 years ago now, in Egypt, and it was found by Richard Markgraf. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I'll put the name on screen because he's a German fossil collector who was working for Ernest Stroner. And once again, I'm sorry if I've butchered that name. I will put it on screen at the time. Anyway, it was officially named a species back in 1915, 3 years after it was discovered, and it was named by the same group. Okay, the skeleton was minimal, only containing some vertebrae with long spines on top, pieces of the jaw and teeth. And it was displayed in a German museum where in 1944, I think it was sadly destroyed by Allied bombing during World War II. We originally believed that the Spinosaurus was a bipedal land-based predator where it lived on land and occasionally swam, where it would eat fish. We knew this due to it having a similar snout to a crocodile and some curved teeth, but it wasn't recognised as fully aquatic yet. After Jurassic Park 3's release, we realised how horribly inaccurate the Spinosaurus from the movie was, but we still love it. At least I do. I love it at least. Later discoveries were shifted our understanding of the creature as revealed that the Spinosaurus had dense and buoyant bones and a fin-like tail to help it propel through the water. This led us to believe that the Spinosaurus was a semi-aquatic river monster that lived, hunted and swam in deep waters. It lived in the Cretaceous period around 99 to 93 million years ago in what is now North Africa, which at the time wasn't a dry desert, but was instead full of lush mangrove forests and fast interconnected rivers. This was the only known epithet of the Spinosaurus until February 19th, 2026, where Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, being the dinosaur we just talked about, was no longer a single Pringle. It had a close relative that lived in what is now known as Niger. Spinosaurus mirabilis is the newest epithet of the Spinosaurus. It lived more than 95 million years ago. His bones were found nowhere near coastal regions where other piscivores lived and hunted. But this new Spinosaurus, don't worry, is easily distinguishable from the Aegyptiacus, as the mirabilis has... I'm not even going to try and joke this, I don't know how to say this, so I'll put it on screen now. It has that shaped crest on its head, which puzzled researchers when it was found in 2019. History time, okay? The researchers that first discovered fragments only found the crest, and this was back in 2019, and they had zero clue of what it could be. Okay, it wasn't until 2022 when they returned to the location to collect more specimens to create a bigger picture, that they realised this is a new dinosaur. The team that found the fossils believed that this part of Niger was partly or heavily forested with rivers that crisscrossed each other, rather than having a coastline. Not much is known due to it being only just discovered and deemed a new species, okay? So, well, as we're recording, this is less than 10 days old, so, you know. Other than the crest, there are some key differences between the Aegyptiacus and Mirabilis. One of them being that the Mirabilis has a more box-like build compared to the more rounded features of the Aegyptiacus. But the Aegyptiacus is likely much larger due to a staggering 46-foot length, and the Mirabilis is estimated to be around 40 foot, like have a 40-foot length, right? That's a 6-foot difference between the Mirabilis and Aegyptiacus, meaning the Aegyptiacus is obviously larger. But the difference between them is just over the height of the average person being 5'7", right? So 3 inches more, which I think is quite a lot, in my opinion. The difference between the size is a person. That's weird, in my opinion. It's creepy. I don't know what else. Okay, well that's it for my first video. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something about the history of the Spinosaurus. And once again, I'm sorry, there's not much about the Mirabilis being the newest one, mainly because it's like 6 days old at this point, right? And honestly, I wrote down a script to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I think that's caused me to stutter. So I'm just gonna write down facts next time, and I'm gonna free speak like I normally do. Okay, please subscribe and like, because honestly, I'm new to this channel, and I'll be posting more dinosaur news and videos and facts when I learn about them. Okay, goodbye.